Humboldt Club broadcast on your home from the Cubs. KKY AM 1460 and 99.9 FM is
85-pound senior, number 20, Connor Haviland. And at a defensive end, 145-pound sophomore, number 23, Gavin Hayes. The Cubs are coached by Logan Weiler. He is assisted by Dave Taylor, Jason Weiler, and Jeremy Weiler. And now here are tonight's defensive starters for the Fredonia Yellow Jackets.
No, you're not.
Okay. What happened?
Number 20, Grayson Coulter. On the line, junior, number 63, Colton Applehand. Also on the line, a junior, number 75, Grant Hebb. And a linebacker, sophomore, number 24, Colton Dinkle. At linebacker, junior, number 32, Buddy Claiborne. At linebacker, sophomore, number 38, Taryn.
tonight's Humboldt Club broadcast on your home from the Cubs. KKY AM 1460.
Number 56, Matt Weiler. At linebacker, senior, number 88, Nick Hibbard. And a defensive back, junior,
Tonight's Humboldt Club broadcast on
Lane Mayeski.
Do what?
Also a defensive back,
The open isn't
number
playing.
5, Cooper Odell. And a defensive back, sophomore, number 21, Mason Harvey. The Jackets are coached by Mark Swatty. He is assisted by Brent Trujillo.
tonight's Humboldt Club broadcast on your home from the Cubs. KKY AM 1460 and 99.9 FM is being brought to you.
I don't know why it's not playing.
Is it not playing over the air or what?
Tonight's Humboldt Club broadcast on your home from the Cubs. KKY AM 1460.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong because I did the things that I did first.
What? Is it not playing over the radio or what's going on?
No, I just said no.
Can you hear it?
Me?
Yeah,
No.
because I can hear it.
It's not. What can you hear? 'Cause I
The
don't
open.
think it's playing.
Every time you play the open, I hear it. You've still got 5 minutes to play.
Hey, on where it says button bar
Yeah.
on the board is your I think is your MXM or what is it? It'll be
I think I might have taken.
You got everything set up the right way?
Yeah. I'm just annoyed because it was easy last time. Yep, but that makes okay.
Tonight's Humboldt Club.
Okay, that's what it
Got it?
yeah.
All right. As soon as possible.
Can you hear that?
Yep. I heard it play for a half a second.
Okay. So I'm gonna play it. Does that work?
Yep. As soon as you can.
Okay, right.
Tonight's Humboldt Club broadcast on your home from the Cubs. KKY AM 1460 and 99.9 FM is being brought to you by BMW Trailer, which is Motor Steaming Company, Community National Bank, and USC 258. Now Let's get you out to the game on your home with the Humboldt Cubs. KKY AM 1460 and 99.9 FM.
Welcome to Fredonia, Kansas, the site of tonight's battle between your Humboldt Cubs and the Fredonia Yellow Jackets. A beautiful night weather-wise here in Fredonia, much better than it was last week, as last week it was just extremely hot and humid. But here tonight, upper 70s, pushing 80, mostly partly cloudy skies, let's say that. Sun still poking up over the hill here in Fredonia, but other than that, it's pretty much a perfect night for September football. Looks like the captains are headed out to midfield. I'm going to get the coin toss here, but before we figure all that out, just going to go back and talk about last week a little bit. The Cubs coming away with a big win in Fredonia, a game where they really just dominated in the third quarter and pulled away in the second half. Here tonight, talked to Coach Wyrick a little bit before the game, and he told me, this is a pretty balanced Fredonia team that they like to run the ball a lot. However, when they're not running the ball, they like to do the pass, but when they do pass, it's mainly play action. They said they've got some pretty good size, but they do have some pretty good skill position players on the outside. Also on defense, some quick guys that can come around the edge, rushing the passer. So should be a good game tonight. That's, of course, from the words of Coach Wyrick. But going back to last week, pretty much a dominant rushing performance. Isaiah Coronado, 74 yards on 4 carries. Also, Connor Haviland, 181 yards on only 12 carries, also 4 touchdowns. Like to see how Humboldt can build on that performance and see if they can just dominate the ground game here again tonight. Again, captains are out there at midfield. If they're wasting time or what they're doing, I'll waste time with them, I suppose, as I guess we've still technically got about a minute and 20 seconds before the pregame clock hits 0 anyway. And it appears that the officials are literally standing out there just watching the clock as it ticks away. So while they're out there talking about it, we're going to go ahead and take a 30-second timeout. When we come back, hopefully the captains will be back to their respective sidelines and we can get this game going. So you're listening to Humboldt Cub Football on AM 1460, 99.9 FM, and KKOY.com.
We love the trailer pictures. We stand for the future of American manufacturing. We hope America is the future. We want to do allowing the principles that work in our American. That's why VW trailer pictures are still made in Humboldt. Strong, consistent, and trusted VW products are manufactured in a state-of-the-art facility. It matches the skilled workforce capacity. That's the new trailer picture. We need a decent and allowing. We don't compromise on the leadership union. That's why we focus on the U.S.-made steel that's shaped in a safe and durable American product. VW trailer pictures, proudly made in Humboldt, Kansas. Go Cubs. Let's get back to the game on your home for the Humboldt Cubs, 1460 AM and 99.9 FM.
Back here in Fredonia, Kansas at Pryor Field, Gene John Stadium. And it appears that Humboldt has deferred as they won the coin toss, so Fredonia will receive the opening kickoff, and Fredonia is going to be going into the sun. However, it appears that sun will disappear behind that hill very shortly, hopefully, because it's right into my right eye, and it's not fun. But teams are headed out to the field and joined here by Cody Trester tonight. And Cody, what are you expecting to see out of Humboldt tonight?
Oh, well, compared to last week, Connor Haviland, he made a lot of good progress last week.
A lot of big plays.
And I just want to see a lot more ball movement, not just Connor Haviland. I want to see some of the other players get involved and everything like that. So
I'd like to see Humboldt be able to establish a little bit of a passing game as well here tonight.
Yeah, because they had a lot of runs last week. That's where most of the yards came from.
Haviland going to tee it up. And here we go. Good kickoff by Haviland. It's going to be fielded at the 14 by Fredonia. And down there immediately is Haviland, the kicker, and he'll wrap up the ball carrier, Lane Maeski, at about the 21-yard line. So that's where Fredonia will start their first offensive possession. Fredonia getting the call from the sideline, which I'll never understand why a team has to go out first play of the game and still get a call from the sideline. It's going to be John Dutton, the junior quarterback. He will go under center. Man in motion. Give to the tailback. To get a number on that one, looked like Taryn Ward, number 38. He's just a freshman, so the freshman tailback on the first play of the game. And that tells you that this team might have a little bit of youth if they're throwing out a freshman tailback. A good tackle by Coronado for Humboldt. Fredonia going to go back under center. I formation. Drop back to pass. Going to be a quick out on the reception. Cooper Odell, and he will be wrapped up at about the 32-yard line, but that'll probably be good enough for a first down. So 2 plays in, and Fredonia already with a first down. Coach Wyrick saying that most of the passing from Fredonia came from the play action. However, that time just a quick out. No play action on the play. Shotgun this time. Give will be to number 32. That's Buddy Claiborne, bouncing off a 1 tackle, and he'll end up picking up about 7 on that one. That'll set up a 2nd and 3. And Fredonia having success here on the first drive. 2nd and 3 for the Jackets. And John Dutton in the shotgun formation. It's like Ward to his left. There's a little bit of movement early, nothing called. Like that was Claiborne to his left, and Claiborne gets the carry, and he'll pick up about 4, but that's good enough for Fredonia Yellow Jacket first down. 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets at the Fredonia 43-yard line. Dutton back in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Tailback right behind him. Snap and the give to Claiborne, and this time he will get stopped in the backfield. As for Humboldt, Gunnar Elder back there in the backfield to make the tackle. Also number 18, Brian Orth. Good job by the Humboldt defense that time to set up a 2nd and 11 for the Yellow Jackets. 9:50 here to go in the first quarter. Fredonia still on their first drive of the game. I formation for the Yellow Jackets. 2 receivers to the far side. The snap and the give, that time again right up the middle, but going nowhere was number 24, Colton Dinkle. And again, a no gain, so that's going to set up a 3rd and 11, and the Humboldt defense going to do what they can to get off the field. Appears to be a passing situation for the Yellow Jackets, so go to an I formation, receiver to each side. Dutton with the snap, and he will pass, looking to his right, and that pass is just a little bit high as Cooper Odell couldn't bring it down, and that'll set up a 4th and 11. And it appears Fredonia will punt. That'll put Corey Harris in punt formation, back for Humboldt to receive. Number 15, Cooper Jaro. Jaro standing at about his own 25, 26-yard line, so not expecting a very long punt. Good snap, good kick, it's high, spiraling. Jaro gonna field this one, makes 1 move, and he gets wrapped up at about the 27-yard line. And a good tackle there by Grayson Coulter for Fredonia. So 8:57 here to go. Scoreless in the first quarter, and Humboldt gonna take over for their first possession of the game. Ball spotted at the 27-yard line. Havlin getting the call from the sideline. Team breaking the huddle. Haviland in the shotgun set. Cobalt to his right, Coronado behind him. J-Row in motion. The give will be to Coronado, and he is upfield. He's got about 15, 13 yards on that one. He'll get all the way up to the 40-yard line. They're going to spot him at the 39. But that's going to be about a 13-yard carry for Coronado and a first down for Humboldt. Haviland in the shotgun set. 3 running backs back there with him. The give will be to Coronado again to the right side. Coronado going to dig his feet. He's going to end up picking up about 7. And a good job by Coronado. Humboldt getting the call from the sideline. Haviland going to be in the shotgun set again. Coronado to his right. 3 receivers to the right side, 1 to the near side. And Haviland's going to keep this one himself, but a good tackle by Grayson Coulter for Fredonia. That's going to set up a 3rd and 3 for the Cubs. Humboldt getting the call from the sideline. And looks like they'll break the essentially no huddle, but team getting up to the line. Haviland gets the snap, looks left, and he's going to try to get it back up to the first down marker. He won't get there. A good stop by Fredonia, and that's going to set up a 4th and 4 as Haviland ends up losing a yard. And it appears that Humboldt will go for it. Yeah, Fredonia went into punt return mode immediately, but Humboldt clearly going to go for it on this one. It's early in the game. I like it. I like the aggression by Coach Wyrick. Haviland in the shotgun set. He's going to run to the right side, and he will get the first down and much more. He's at the 30, the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and he will score on a 4th down and 4 play. It's going to be a 55-yard touchdown run for Connor Haviland. And just like that, with 6:23 left to go in the first quarter, Humboldt's up 6-0.
5 plays, 73-yard scoring drive. With 6:23 to go first quarter, just right on top of Wayne, the conversion attempt.
Humboldt going to go for 2. Haviland going to set up in the shotgun, empty set. Coronado in motion, and they'll give it to Coronado. He's going to have to run backwards, stay on his feet, and he does not. And the conversion will be no good. But with 6:23 left to go in the first quarter, Humboldt takes a 6-0 lead. We're going to go ahead and take a 30-second break. You're listening to Humboldt Cub football on AM 1460, 99.9 FM, and KKOY.com.
The Monarch Sealing Company has been committed to quality and excellence for more than 100 years. The employees of Monarch have worked hard to produce the highest quality cement for its customers. We don't stop at just making the highest quality cement. The Monarch family of companies extends into the realm of ready-mix concrete, concrete products, and sundry building materials. Monarch employees share a commitment to quality essential to meeting the varied applications of their customers. Monarch Sealing Company, dedicated to quality and craftsmanship for over a century. Let's get back to the game on your own to the Humboldt Cubs, 1460 AM and 99.9 FM.
Back here in Fredonia, Kansas, where the Humboldt Cubs have taken a 6-0 lead over the Fredonia Yellow Jackets, and Humboldt lining it up to kick off. Haviland will do the kicking duties here tonight. And that is not Haviland, excuse me. That was number 28, Leon Ausder. Fredonia picks up the kick at about the 20-yard line. They're to the left side, down on the sideline. And a good return by Fredonia's number 2, Lane Majewski, as he takes that one all the way back to about the 47-yard line. So Fredonia will have a short field. Oh, they're going to spot him at the 38-yard line. The near side official was standing at the 47. But the official on the far side is going to say he stepped out at about the 38-yard line. So still good field position for the Fredonia Yellow Jackets. I formation set. Going to be a quick pass. And this one broken up but still caught. And number 5, Cooper Odell, almost broke that one for a big gain. Still picks up about 8. But a good job by Humboldt to break that pass up, but an even better job by Odell to bring that one in. It'll set up a 2nd and 2 for the Yellow Jackets. Dutton under center, I formation, receiver to each side. And he's going to throw again. And that one looked low but caught. That'll be for about 3 yards. Majewski brings it in. That'll be good enough for a Fredonia Yellow Jacket first down. Ball spotted at the Yellow Jacket 49-yard line. And Fredonia making a couple of substitutions here. Gonna have trips to the near side. Dutton will go in the shotgun. And the snap and the give to number 32, Buddy Claiborne, and he'll pick up about 7. And Fredonia not having much trouble picking up 6-7 yards at a time. We'll see what Humboldt's defense can do to slow down the Yellow Jacket offense. So Dutton going to go back under center. Motion man coming to the near side. Motion again. And the give to number 20, Grayson Coulter. And he was almost wrapped up in the backfield, but he will end up gaining about 4, which will be enough for the first down. Get all the way up to the Humboldt 39-yard line. Set up a 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. Dutton under center. And there was movement early on both sides. Fredonia taking a shot. They're going deep. And that one's caught by Majewski for a touchdown. A 39-yard touchdown strike from John Dutton to Lane Majewski. And sometimes you just got to tip your cap to the opponent. That was a great throw and an even better catch as Cooper Jaro on the coverage. Good coverage. Just couldn't quite get that one away from Majewski. And just like that, it's 6-all here with 4:13 left in the first quarter. Fredonia looks to set up to go for 2. They are on the near hash. They'll set up in the flex bone offense. Man in motion to the far side. Another man in motion. And the give, ball's on the ground, and he will go down quickly. That was number 24, Colton Dinkle on the carry. So we'll stay tied at 6s with 4:13 to go here in the first quarter. We're going to go ahead and take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Humboldt Cub football on AM 1460, 99.9 FM, and KKOY.com.
Hi, this is Ryan Briscoe, State Farm Agent Schmidt. I believe it's important to protect your family in the event of an emergency. Come see me today in downtown Schmidt at 205 East Main. Let me help protect your family with auto, home, life, and health insurance, as well as protecting your family's financial future. Come say hi to downtown offices in Schmidt or schedule an appointment by calling 620-421-2680. let's get back to the game on your home for the Humboldt Cubs, 1460 AM and 99.9 FM.
Back here at Pryor Field in Fredonia, Kansas, where the Yellow Jackets have tied this one up at 6-all here with 4:13 left in the first quarter. Looks like the entire football field is in the shade now as that sun has dipped down under the hill. I'm still getting a little bit of sun, but nobody really cares about if I'm in the sun or not.
Up here in the box.
It's still cooler than it was last week in Neodesha.
Yes. Yes, it was.
It was awfully warm last week. It's like number 32, Buddy Claiborne, going to do the kicking duties for Fredonia here tonight. He's got it teed up. And it's a low line drive kick that will go straight out of bounds at about the Humboldt 29-yard line. And Humboldt will take over at, I got to check up on my high school rules, I believe the 40-yard line.
Cubs will mull over their option.
And
Yep,
Humboldt.
looks like where they're going is the 40-yard line. So.
And Humboldt's going to elect to have them re-kick.
Cubs elect to have the Jackets kick again.
And I like the aggressive call by Coach Wyrick as he believes he's got some of the best athletes in the Tri-Valley League, if not the best. And along with having the best athletes, thinks he's got some of the best kick returners. Wants to give his guys an opportunity to get a big return. So Claiborne will tee it up once again. Both teams ready to go. And the kick is off. This one similar. However, Jackson Aikens will field, and he's up to about the 39-yard line, and that's about as far as he will get. So it'll be a net loss of about a yard. But nonetheless, giving your players an opportunity to make plays, and that's really all you can ask for.
Keegan Bryant along with Taryn Ward on the stop. Cubs will.
So Connor Haviland will come back out and see if he can lead this offense to yet another score. Haviland in the shotgun set with Coronado to his right. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the near side. The snap to Coronado, and it's a quarterback run all the way. And Haviland will get wrapped up for about a 1-yard loss. And the Fredonia defense, very stout defensive line, able to bust through the Humboldt offensive line. And that's going to be a loss of 1, setting up a 2nd down and 11 for the Cubs. Haviland getting the call from Coach Wyrick on the far sideline. Be a shotgun set, 2 receivers to each side with Coronado behind Haviland. It's going to be an option play, and Haviland, who with a fake pitch, going to take this one on the right side, a stiff arm, and Haviland's down the sideline. He's at the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown just like that. A 62-yard touchdown run for Connor Haviland, who has picked up right where he left off last week.
2-yard, 61-yard scoring play. 62-yard.
Again, great moves from the senior quarterback, Connor Haviland, who I use the term quarterback lightly as he was an all-state running back last season. Cubs will line up to go for the 2-point conversion. Haviland in the shotgun set, Cobalt to his right, J-Row to his left. It'll be a fake, and Haviland will walk in. 2-point conversion good. So with 3:17 left to go in the first quarter, Humboldt leads Fredonia 14-6. We're going to go ahead and take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Humboldt Cub football on AM 1460, 99.9 FM, and KKOY.com.
My grandpa started small, real small. Back then, we didn't have much to start with. It was a land, a mule, a sack of seed, but he made it work. And my family has been making it work for 2 generations since. It all started from a seed. It's already everything's starts with a C. At Community National Bank and Trust, we've got the seed money you need to get started. Take pride in your work, and we take pride in helping you do it. Find the Community National Bank and Trust near you at mybankcnb.com. Remember, FDIC, equal housing lender. Let's get back to the game on your phone from the Humboldt Cubs, 1460 AM and 99.9 FM.
Back here in Fredonia, Kansas, where the Humboldt Cubs have taken a 14-6 lead, and Connor Haviland, 5 carries, 118 yards on the ground, along with 2 touchdowns. And outside of that, Humboldt has 20 yards of offense. 2 big plays from Connor Haviland. As impressive as it is, I want to see Humboldt put together a big, solid drive, because I'm starting to think all they do is big, explosive plays. Kickoff by Ausder will be down to about the 16-yard line, where Majewski will bring it back, and Majewski's got a lane. He's at the 40, the 50, and he will be brought down, and a great tackle by Coronado, and then the flag comes out. That's a bad call. There was not a horse collar. I do not like that one bit. A horse collar tackle is where you grab inside the jersey or shoulder pads and pull down, which he did not do. He had a grab of both sides and pulled down. And that's about as bad as the calls we had on Thursday Night Football last night, or excuse me, Monday Night Football, when they got DeAndre Hopkins for an aggressive tackle. I don't know if you watched that game, Cody. Hopkins pretty much suplexed. There was an interception. Suplexed the guy, and they called a penalty for unnecessary roughness. And what's he supposed to do? Just touch him? The ball will be spotted at the Humboldt 22-yard line after the 15-yard penalty.
3:05 still left in the first.
And the give to Claiborne, and Dragon defenders. He'll pick up about 4.5. Set up a second, we'll call it 2nd and 6.
They had about 6 defenders come up just on that one guy.
Yeah, it was a strong run by Claiborne.
2nd down, 6 upcoming.
So Fredonia getting the call from the sideline. Dutton going to go, looks like under center, an I formation behind him, and receiver set to each side, tight end on to his right side. And it's going to be play action, looking towards the end zone, and that will be knocked away, and there's a flag out. I have no idea what for.
I think they were trying to say that he was pushing on him, but
we've got pass interference defense. Yep. Pass interference on Humboldt, and I can tell you, I'm sitting up in the booth. Clock operators, PA, everybody thought that was on Fredonia. So when Fredonia thinks it's on Fredonia and it's on Humboldt, well, there you go. That'll set up a 1st and goal at the 9-yard line, though, for Fredonia. And pass interference in the end zone. We're not going to put the ball at the 2-yard line, apparently. And we're going to just set it at the 9. Okay. Official call, pass interference on the defense, automatic 1st down. So that'll be 1st and goal from the 9 here with 2:19 to go in the first quarter. Dutton in the shotgun set. Give to Claiborne on the right side. He gets all the way down to the 4-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and goal from the 4. So Fredonia threatening to score here with 2 minutes and counting. Dutton going to go under center with the flex bone set. Motion man and a fake, the give to the tailback, and he's in there, and that's a touchdown for number 38, Taryn Ward. And Fredonia is a 2-point conversion away from tying this one up at 14 apiece. So a good kick return by the Yellow Jackets, followed by a penalty, and then 2 plays later a questionable pass interference penalty, and then 2 plays later the touchdown. So Dutton will go under center, I formation. And he's going to throw to the right side, and this one's going to be picked off. And due to high school rules, Coronado can go nowhere. The play will just be dead. But with 1:48 to go left in the first quarter, Humboldt will hold on to the lead for now, 14-12. We're going to go ahead and take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Humboldt Cub football on AM 1460, 99.9 FM, and KKOY.com.
The 2019 Kansas State Fair is underway and runs through September the 15th. Hi, I'm Carla Nemechek, Director in the Southwind Extension District. Whether you attend the State Fair annually or have never gone before, there is always something new to see. The butter sculpture represents the Wizard of Oz this year, and I hear the fried food is fantastic. K-State Research and Extension is proud of our 4-H exhibitors who have already earned awards and look forward to daily results. Daily results can be found on our Southwind website, southwind.ksu.edu. The Kansas State Fair and 4-H exhibits are only a small part of the total 4-H program in the Southwind Extension District. Are you interested in learning more about 4-H and what it can do for your family? If so, contact K-State Research and Extension in Erie, Iola Fort Scott Yates Center, and we'd love to visit with you about 4-H.
There it is.
Let's get back to the game on your home for the Humboldt Cubs, 1460 AM and 99.9 FM.
Back here in Fredonia, and sorry we missed the kickoff. However, Cooper J-Rowe is going to bring that one back to the 46-yard line, and we're going to add 15 yards onto it as there was a face mask penalty. However, 4 of the closest officials didn't throw the flag. The white hat behind the play, who was farthest away, had to throw the flag, but nonetheless, the penalty will be enforced as J-Rowe's head just about got ripped off. So now back-to-back kickoffs, and the opponent, or the offense will be in the opponent's territory. Humboldt going to take over at the Fredonia 39-yard line. Haviland gets the snap. He's going to throw. He's rolling out to his right side, and Haviland's going to be wrapped up. And end up being no gain as Haviland had to fight to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Haviland just didn't have any open receivers downfield and did what he could to get back to the original line of scrimmage. And Haviland goes down to the sideline. Looks like he's going to cramping up a little bit. Coach is stretching. Backup quarterback number 23, Gavin Page, will come into the game momentarily. Page gets the call. He'll be in the shotgun set. Cobalt to his right, Coronado behind him. Here's the snap, the give to Coronado, and Coronado will be cut down immediately, and that'll set up a 3rd and 10 for Humboldt. Again, it appears that Haviland cramping up over on the far sideline as multiple coaches trying to get that right leg stretched out.
Going to be 3rd and 9, 30 seconds left in the first quarter.
Page in the shotgun set. He gets the snap and bobbles it, and he's looking to throw, running for his life. Gets it completed to Coronado, who's up the left sideline, breaks back inside, and he will be taken down at the 26-yard line, but that's going to be good enough for a Humboldt Cub first down. Good job by Gavin Page, filling in right now at the quarterback position. But just when you had concerns that Haviland was out, just like that, Page filling in for him, but we're going to go ahead and take a 1-minute timeout, as that is the end of the first quarter with your Humboldt Cubs leading 14-12. You're listening to Humboldt Cub football on AM 1460, 99.9 FM, and KKOY.com.
Educational programs, special education, current college courses for our college community college. The real education and eventually leadership are committed to excellence in public education. The real school district are all students with skills and knowledge necessary for success. Let's go Cubs! Let's get back to the game on your home for the Humboldt Cubs, 1460 AM and 99.9 FM.
Back here in Fredonia, and big thanks to Destiny back in the studio for getting us back here before that full minute timeout, as apparently we have a timeout, and it didn't signal who it was from, but they have put 6 seconds back on the clock here in the first quarter. I don't understand this at all, why either team would take this timeout, because there's essentially no wind. The sun isn't a factor anymore. I guess they just wanted to go this direction.
And they turned it into a running clock.
And they started the clock. The clock doesn't start after a timeout.
And the first quarter comes to an end. Score at the end.
Said it was an official timeout.
It was an official's timeout. Okay, so I guess we are going to take, we're going to go ahead and just take 30 seconds, though. You're listening to Humboldt Cub football on AM 1460, 99.9 FM, and KKOY.com. I got you.
Football fans, mark your calendars for Thursday, December the 5th, when the National Junior College Football Championship returns to Carnegie Stadium. From last chance to the NFL, the road to Pittsburgh is the next step. Get your tickets today at the State Ticket Office. Room rates are available for high school football teams. Call 630-235-4796. Again, that's 630-235-4796. It's the National Junior College Football Championship, December the 5th. Be a part of their story. Let's get back to the game on your home for the Humboldt Cubs, 1460 AM and 99.9 FM.
Back here in Fredonia, where the Humboldt Cubs hold a slim 14-12 lead as we start the second quarter. Still really no explanation as to what that official's timeout was, but nonetheless, teams went to the sidelines. They started the clock again at 6 seconds, and then teams went back to their sidelines as the time ran out. Page will still be in at quarterback. Coronado to his right. Page going to throw. It's going to be a screen to Coronado. He jukes left, goes back right, gets down to about the 15-yard line. That one's going to be good for 12 yards. And Page, 2 for 2 now passing with 27 yards to go with it. Looks like Haviland trying to get loose on the far sideline. And he's got his helmet with him now. And he's going to strap that thing back on. We'll see how many more plays he sits out. Head coach Logan Wyrick getting the play in to Page. Gavin Page gets his team back up to the line. Man in motion. And snap high. Page able to bring it down, and he'll end up losing about 3 yards on the play. Like that was supposed to be a give to Cooper Jaro. However, the bad snap made that not possible, but a good job by Gavin Page to maintain possession. So Page in the shotgun set, 3 receivers to the far side. Page gets the snap. It's going to be a quick throw to the left side, and that one falls harmlessly incomplete, but that will set up a 3rd and 12 as Humboldt has it at about the 17-yard line of Fredonia. And Page going to head to the sideline as Connor Haviland heads back in. Quick score update, Neodesha and Erie are locked in a 0-0 tie going into the second quarter. Haviland in the shotgun set, Coronado going in motion. However, Fredonia going to call a quick timeout. We're going to keep it right here. This is a big third down play as it's clearly 4-down territory as Humboldt hasn't shown any kicking game at all. Not kicking extra points, yet to attempt a field goal 5 quarters into this season. So I'm just going to assume that field goal is 100% out of the question at this point. So you got to think 4-down territory. You've got 12 yards to get the first down. You got to remember, you don't have to score on this play by any means. And I know when you're 17 yards out, all eyes are on the end zone. But ultimately, if you can pick up 7 or 8 yards on this play and set up yourself up with a 4th and short, that would be ideal. Obviously, yes, scoring on this play would be nice, or just picking up the first down, but you don't have to get it all in one chunk. Fredonia's getting their defense set up, and they're back out on the field. However, Humboldt going to take every last second they have of this timeout, and now they do break the huddle. It will be Haviland in the shotgun set. 3 receivers to the far side. Coronado in the backfield. He will move behind Haviland. Quick throw to Coronado. And good blocking by the receivers. And Coronado going to score on that one. A perfectly drawn up play by Coach Wyrick. A quick screen with 3 blocking receivers. And that's going to make it 20-12. Here with 10:41 left to go in the second quarter. So still a 1-possession game at this point. Humboldt going to go for 2 yet again. So Haviland in the shotgun set, Coronado to his left. The give and a wide open. Oh. Kyle Cobald was wide open, but the throw a little bit short, and that one will fall incomplete. So it will stay a 1-possession game as the Humboldt Cubs lead Fredonia 20-12 with 10:41 left in the second quarter. We're going to take a 30-second break. You're listening to Humboldt Cub football on AM 1460, 99.9 FM, and KKOY.com.
Let's get back in the game on your home for the Humboldt Cubs, 1460 AM and 99.9 FM.
Back here at Pryor Field in Fredonia, Kansas, where Humboldt Cubs have a 20-12 lead here with 10:41 left in the second quarter. Lots of scoring here in the first 13 minutes and change, as we have seen 5 total touchdowns. Number 28, Leon Alsder, set to kick and hits an onside kick, and that ball just doesn't go 10 yards. And it's like Cooper Jaro, the first one to touch it. No flag came out for illegal touching, though. Nobody's going to throw a flag for illegal touching. I like it. A Fredonia player came up and attempted to field it, and J-Row jumped on it first.
Going to put it on the 46-yard line.
Nonetheless, that'll give Fredonia really good field position. A couple other scores. It's like Jayhawk Lynn who we will play in a few weeks, leading Uniontown 14-0. Also another 2A score, Rossville and Silver Lake, a big rivalry, tied at 7. Oh, this is a pass all the way.
Way too far.
And a little trickery there by Fredonia as Dutton pitched it backward to Cooper Odell, and Odell was looking for Lane Mayeski deep, but the nearest player to that football was Isaiah Coronado, but it falls incomplete. Well, that'll set up a 2nd and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. They're going to go to a shotgun set with Claiborne in the backfield with Dutton, 3 receivers to the far side. They give to Claiborne right up the middle, and he'll pick up about 4. Well, that'll set up a 3rd and 6 for the Yellow Jackets as they are in Humboldt Cub territory. Looks like they're at about the Cub 42-yard line. However, Fredonia not attempting a field goal or extra point either. Hard to imagine there's any sort of kicking game at risk here. Dutton telling everybody to play as they'll go into the flexbone set. Dutton under center, man in motion. It's going to be play action. Dutton looking to pass, and he's going to be wrapped up and sacked. It looks like that's number 61, Blake Walker, for Humboldt, and that's going to set up a 4th and 11, and we'll now see what Fredonia chooses to do, as they could choose to punt and put Humboldt deep in their own territory, or they could go for it, as
I think they're going to try to go for it.
Yeah, Fredonia has showed the ability to have a little bit of a passing game. Dutton going to go under center, receiver set to each side, I formation. It's going to be a pass to the right side, and it's going to be overthrown as he was looking for Mayeski. So that's going to give Humboldt possession back at the Fredonia 47-yard line, and Humboldt going to have pretty good field possession here with 9:17 to go in the 2nd quarter. And I know last week, talking to some of the Neota Shea coaches, they were saying at halftime, or I guess after the game, they were saying some of their players at halftime were talking about how Humboldt was subbing players in and out as to where Neota Shea, their guys were getting more tired. You kind of wonder if that's a similar situation here tonight, as Humboldt able to nonstop keep guys fresh, and Fredonia has a bunch of guys going both ways. Wonder if we're getting some tired legs here tonight. Humboldt's called a timeout. We're going to go ahead and keep it here for now, and we're going to see what Humboldt does as they come back out on the field. It's been a strong night rushing for Humboldt, and actually going back to that last touchdown, that was a touchdown run by Coronado, as the pass from Haviland was backwards, so Haviland won't get credit for a passing touchdown. However, Coronado will get credit for 17 yards on the ground. All 3 touchdowns tonight for Humboldt have been on the ground. A 17-yard run by Coronado, and then a 55 and 62-yard runs by Haviland. And say, like we talked about earlier, wouldn't mind seeing Humboldt establish a little bit of a passing game. However, if you're having success running the ball, I guess just keep going. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
You're right.
Haviland going to set up in the shotgun set. 5 receivers. Coronado in motion. The give will be to Coronado, and he will pick up about 1. That'll set up a 2nd and 9 at the Fredonia 48-yard line. About 9 minutes and counting here to go in the first half. Again, Humboldt leading 20-12 on what is a beautiful weather night. Not as good as you can get for September football. Haviland going to be in the shotgun set. 4 receivers. Cobalt, the tight end, set up to the right side. Coronado in motion that time, the fake, and Haviland going to try to take it himself, and he will only get back to the line of scrimmage. So that'll set up a 3rd and 9. And another thing about Humboldt's offense is all of their touchdowns have come on either 3rd and long or 4th and long. 2 4th down touchdowns and a 3rd down touchdown. So Humboldt's right where they want to be. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Haviland will get the snap. And it's a quarterback keeper. He's off to the left side, 1 stiff arm, another stiff arm. He's going to try to cut back upfield. And Haviland with a hurdle. And he almost broke that one free. Going to end up picking up about 18 on the carry and get that one down to the Fredonia 35-yard line. A great run by Connor Haviland. So Humboldt going to get a fresh set of downs. They're at the Fredonia 35-yard line. Haviland going to be in the shotgun once again. Coronado behind him. 2 receivers far side, 1 to the near. The give is to Coronado. And Coronado could have been stopped in the backfield, however, cuts upfield to the left side, and he will gain about 3.5, close to 4. 6:50 and counting. Humboldt is driving. Cubs break the huddle. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. And it's a fake to Coronado and throws out to Cobalt and a vicious stiff arm. However, tackle made by Lane Majewski, but a good job as Humboldt picks up about 10 on that one. And that'll set up 1st and 10 from about the 19-yard line of Fredonia. So Humboldt awaiting the call from the sideline. Like 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near, 2 receivers split out to each side. And Fredonia is going to call a timeout. We'll take a timeout with them. We'll take a 30-second break anyway. You're listening to Humboldt Cub football on AM 1460, 99.9 FM, and KKOY.com.
Every 16 minutes, Humboldt guys are reaching the field. You can mix up this tragedy. Buckle up. Buckle up everyone in the field. Where pay attention to reduce distractions. While it's heavily there's different ways to retaliate that happens every day.
Brought to you by the Kansas Department of Transportation and the station.
Let's get back to the game on your own from Humboldt Cubs, 1460 AM and 99.9 FM.
Back here in Fredonia, Kansas. And it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. And I don't know if Fredonia just didn't like the defense they had set up. And Fredonia is still discussing what they want to do on defense as Humboldt huddled up on the far side as well. Last time Fredonia called timeout in this situation, it allowed Humboldt a chance to huddle up, and Humboldt scored on the very next play. So Fredonia likely hoping for a different outcome this time. Cubs coming back out onto the field. Haviland making his way. He'll be in the shotgun set. Coronado behind him. Here's the snap. Give to Coronado. Nope, he fakes it. Throwing out wide left, and that'll fall incomplete as Haviland was throwing against his body and couldn't complete the pass. Thankfully, it falls harmlessly to the ground, incomplete, but that'll set up a 2nd down and 10 to go. as Humboldt once again is in the red zone. So Humboldt, 2 receivers to each side. Haviland and Coronado in the backfield. Snap to Haviland. He's going to go right up the middle and digging for extra yards, and he'll pick up about 5. So that'll set up a 3rd down and 5 to go.
Stop made by the combination of Darren Ward and Colton Dingle. Ball will be marked at about the 14.
So Humboldt running some clock here as we are down below 5.5 to go. Three receivers split out to the far side. Last time they ran a little screen pass in this situation. Here's the snap, and it's going to be a similar play. Oh, and that one thrown just a little too high over the head of, that's too far away. I can't see a number.
Number 18.
Like 18, that's Briar Orth. And Haviland's throw just a little bit too high. That'll set up a 4th and 5, and to no one's surprise, Humboldt will indeed go for it.
Like you said earlier, this is where most of their big plays come at this point in time.
Haviland going to shut up in the shotgun set. Coronado behind him. It's a bad snap. Haviland running for his life. He's to the left side, and he might actually pick this thing up.
Yep.
And he is going to score. Unbelievable job by Connor Haviland, as he looked like he was dead in the water, and he just used his speed to run around the entire Fredonia defense. And that is a very unhappy Fredonia sideline right now, as Humboldt has taken a 26-12 lead on a 4th down play that looked like it was going absolutely nowhere.
That had me at the edge of my seat, man.
I thought, well, maybe he will get at the 1st down marker, and he scored.
26-12 Humboldt with 5 minutes left on the clock.
Now Humboldt going to set up in the swinging gate formation, and the give to, how did that work?
He had some hops on that one.
Oh, wow. Illegal procedure on Humboldt. And the snap was to Haviland, and he did a little jump pass to Cobalt, who was also the center on that play. But a great job by Kyle Cobalt to bring that in, but we're going to have to redo it from the 7-yard line this time. Humboldt going to stay in the swinging gate formation. Haviland will get the snap. Got a motion man first. It's going to be an option. Haviland going to keep it himself, and he will score. And a little point to the sky right before he goes in. That'll make it 28-12. Humboldt on top. We're going to go ahead and take a 1-minute timeout. You're listening to Humboldt Cub Football on AM 1460, 99.9 FM, and KKOY.com.
As America's veterans face challenges, DOD is there. My vision is time to support to get back on my feet. DOD helps veterans of every generation get the benefits they earn. I'm a veteran. When I get out, I felt like home safe. So veterans can reach the dreams, great and small. My vision is finding the hope I'm thanks to support more victories for veterans. Go to DO.org. Rehabilitative training issues, we can become the future of American manufacturing. Help Americans to think and what to do allowing the principles that work in our American leaders. That's why VW trade business is still made in Humboldt, Kansas. Strong, consistent, and trusted VW products are manufactured in a state-of-the-art facility. The campus is skilled workforce capacity. That's the new trade base. And made addition and rely on good and compromise on the leadership need. That's why we focus on the U.S.-made steel that shapes in a safe and durable American climate. VW trade proudly made in Humboldt, Kansas. Go, Cubs. Let's get back to the game when you're on for the Humboldt Cubs, 1460 AM and 99.9 FM.
Back here in Fredonia as Majewski fields the kickoff, and Briar Orth just sticks him. Tells him to have a seat right there at about the 15-yard line. So Fredonia are going to have 4:59 left here in the second quarter to try to put a scoring drive together as they trail 28-12. Fredonia in the traditional I formation with the receiver to each side. Dutton will get the snap. He's looking to pass. He's looking left, and that one's a little high over the head of Majewski. Jackson Akins in coverage for Humboldt.
Jackson Akins on the coverage, 2nd and 10 on the field.
That'll set up a 2nd down and 10 to go for Fredonia, as again they are at their own 15-yard line here with 4:55 to go left in the second quarter. Dutton under center, man in motion, and the give will be to the tailback. Looks like Taryn Ward on the carry that time. He picks up about 3. That'll set up a 3rd and 7.
Isaiah Coronado first there for the Cub defense.
So that'll put Dutton back in the shotgun set. He's looking to his right side. Pass going to be incomplete, and a tough break as Cooper Odell, that hit him right in the hands, and Odell had room to pick up the 1st down, but just bobbled it and couldn't bring in the catch. So that'll set up a 4th down and 7, and Fredonia going to be smart to punt here as they are backed up into their own side of the field. That'll bring out number 6, Corey Harris, to punt. Cooper Jaro back to receive as he's standing at about Fredonia's 48-yard line. Punt is away. High kick and a fair catch called for by Jaro, and he'll field that one at about the 45-yard line. Good job by Jaro to realize he just couldn't get a big return on that one, so just take the fair catch, take over possession. So Humboldt going to have 4 minutes, 12 seconds to see if they can't add to this lead. See if they can try to put Fredonia away a little bit here as they head into the break.
Ball spotted at the 45-yard line.
There's a full house backfield with Haviland. Haviland gets the snap, and we've got an early flag. It's going to be a delay of game. Nope. Looks like a false start. And that's going to be on Josh Hull, and Hull asking what I do. And the official saying he flinched his right arm. Hull disagreeing with the call. I wasn't really paying attention to Hull, so I can't tell you if it was or not. Another high snap, and Haviland going to see what he can do with this one. Lowers his shoulder and going to try to get back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to set up about a 2nd and 11. We'll call it 2nd and 11. Haviland still picking up 4 on what again looked like a busted play after a high snap. So 3 receivers to the near side. Haviland in the shotgun set. He gets the snap looking to pass. It's going to be a screen. Pass is completed to Cooper Jaro. Jaro to the right side, now down the sideline, and he will pick up about 13 yards, 14 yards on the pass and catch, and that'll be a 1st down for Humboldt as he gets that one down to about the Fredonia 32-yard line. The clock will start as it's now at 3:51 and counting here in the second quarter. Humboldt back up to the line. Haviland in the shotgun. Cobalt to his right, Coronado behind him. The give will be to Coronado. Coronado lowering his head. Man, nothing like initiating the contact. And a good tackle there by number 5, Cooper Odell. And that's just two athletes going at each other. And that's what you love about high school football. We'll set up a 1st and 10 from the Fredonia 20-yard line. 3:13 now and counting. Humboldt obviously wanting to score here, but use up as much clock as possible. Same formation again. A give to Coronado, and he will get cut down after a gain of about 5 this time. Coronado running hard once again. Coronado having a good night on the ground. Coach Wyrick doing a good job of kind of delaying his play call right now to use up as much play clock as possible, as Humboldt just now getting to the line as the play clock hits 10 seconds. They give to Coronado again, and Coronado just driving his feet, and he will pick up about 11 on that one, and that'll set up a 1st and goal at the Fredonia 5-yard line, as we are now down to 2:15 and counting. A good drive here by Humboldt, as it has been all Isaiah Coronado the last 4 plays.
Got a timeout.
Fredonia going to take another timeout. They've taken a timeout every time Humboldt gets into the red zone. And last time, it almost worked. They had Fredonia, or they had Humboldt in a 4th down situation, and it took an extremely amazing play by Haviland to score. But we'll see what Fredonia's defense draws up now, as Humboldt set up with a 1st and goal from the Fredonia 5-yard line. I guess we'll call this the 2-minute warning, as there's 1:59 left here in the first half. Saw some other Tri-Valley League scores. Cherryville had to make the road trip to Leon Bluestem, and last I saw, it was 36-0 Cherryville. And here's a pretty good score. 28 seconds left in the second quarter. Pittsburgh leading Chanute 18-13. That's a lot closer than I expected that to be. I give Chanute a lot of credit, because Pittsburgh's a very stout 4A team. Pleasanton leading Southeast Cherokee 12-8, however, and that one is at halftime. Haviland in the shotgun set. The give to Coronado, and Coronado will walk in for the touchdown. So with 1:56 to go here in the second quarter, Humboldt takes a 34-12 lead, with the conversion still to come.
6-play, 45-yard scoring drive.
Humboldt averaging 9 yards per play that last drive. They give to Coronado once again, and he will just go right up the gut, and 6 plays in a row for the score and the successful conversion. That'll make it 36-12 here, the 1:56 to go in the first half. We're going to take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Humboldt Cub Football on AM 1460, 99.9 FM, and KKOY.com.
We have double treatment issues. We send them from the future of manufacturing. Welcome to allowing the principles to work around and make them legal. That's why VW treatment issues are still made in Humboldt. It's strong, consistent, and trusted VW products are manufactured in a state-of-the-art facility. It offers a skilled workforce and craftsmen. That's the new trade of this, and many additions to rely on the proven compromise and leadership. That's why we focus on the U.S. Light Studio that sent in the safe and durable American gravel. We got the trailer bushes out of the 90 Humboldt Kansas. Go, Club.
Let's get back to the game on your home for the Humboldt Cubs, 1460 AM and 99.9 FM.
Back here in Fredonia as Humboldt doing everything they can to take control of this game. And remember, it was 14-12 here to start the second quarter, now sitting at 36-12. So a 22-0 run, although you don't really talk about runs in football, more of a basketball thing. But the kick is away. This one will be fielded by Majewski at the 15-yard line. And excuse me, that's Odell. And Cooper Odell will bring that one back to the 27-yard line.
27.
So Humboldt's defense, let's see if they can't get a quick stop here and get off the field and give their offense one more opportunity to put some points up on the board.
Minute and 50 still left in the play clock. 36-12 Humboldt. First and 10 on the 27-yard line.
Dutton under center, and he'll complete this one to the left side to Majewski, and that one's completed for about 8 yards.
Reception. And about the 35 of Fredonia. Jackson Akins on the coverage and stop after the gain.
And Majewski unable to get out of bounds, so the clock will continue to run, 1:27 and counting. Snap to, excuse me, motion man first. The give will be to Taryn Ward as he will pick up about 5. And that'll stop the clock momentarily as they reset the chains.
Joshua Hall, Humboldt on a big hit.
Joshua Hall on the stop.
And Fredonia just taking way too much time to get their plays in. So we're now down to a minute 3 and counting. Ball at the Fredonia 40-yard line. Snap to Dutton. Play action. Looking to pass to the right side. And that one nearly intercepted by Isaiah Coronado as he gave it a dive, but unable to get under the ball. The incomplete pass will stop the clock, however, with 49 seconds to go here in the second quarter.
Second and 10 at the 40-yard line.
We're going to have 2 receivers to each side. Majewski and Odell both to the near side. Expect the pass to come this way. Dutton looking this way, and he's going to throw one deep, and that's going to be about 14 yards out of bounds. As not the worst thing if you're Fredonia. It does stop the clock. However, that sets up a 3rd and 10, and Humboldt has 2 timeouts left. If you don't pick up the first down here, I fully expect Humboldt to use one of their timeouts.
.44 seconds still left in the play clock.
Game clock.
Game clock, play clock.
You're good. Dutton in the shotgun set, running back to his right. And Humboldt getting a great push from the D-line, throwing deep. He's got Majewski there, and oh, what an amazing catch, Lane Majewski. That ball was tipped by Jackson Akins and just fell into the hands of Lane Majewski. That might have been the best luck catch I've ever seen at the high school level. Nonetheless, Fredonia has the ball now at the 10-yard line of Humboldt with 36 seconds to go. Clock still just now starting, and Fredonia gonna spike it as they've stopped the clock now with 32 seconds to go. And an unfortunate break for Humboldt, but a great catch, great concentration by Majewski to bring that pass in. I hope you got the video of that catch.
Yeah, I did.
Dutton looking to pass, running for his life, and he will be wrapped up and unable to throw that away. And the clock will continue to run now at 23 seconds, and Fredonia not in any hurry to get up to the line. Clock now to 15 seconds. And Fredonia smartly spiking the ball with 9 seconds left, meaning they will have one final play as it is 4th and goal with the ball spotted at the 20-yard line. And Humboldt going to use one of their timeouts. We'll keep it here. This is a big play. Fredonia going to try to cut into this lead a little bit. And it's a curious play as to you have to score, and anything less it'll be a turnover on downs, assuming the full 9 seconds isn't used up. You also don't want to risk just throwing one up and
interception.
Humboldt getting an interception with a chance to make a play.
Right all the way back.
Because I'm here to tell you, Humboldt has some athletes in that defensive backfield. We've already seen the speed of Coronado and Haviland. I would rush 3 guys if I'm Humboldt, maybe 4, and I would put everybody else at the goal line or behind. Anxious to see what Fredonia is going to draw up here.
Humboldt taking every minute of that timeout before they break that huddle.
Fredonia is going to go trips to the right side, Dutton in the shotgun set, and Humboldt going to play their defensive backs only about 5 yards off the receivers. Well, Humboldt has nobody in the end zone right now. And the snap to Dutton. He's looking left. It's one guy. It's 1-on-3, and Haviland will get they're going to give him credit for the interception.
Stop the play clock.
Well, I guess I was going to say that'll bring the ball out to the 20-yard line. The ball was on the 20-yard line anyway. So, but it will be credited an interception for Haviland. But Humboldt will have the ball 1st and 10 from the Humboldt 20-yard line with 3 seconds left. And I'm going to assume that Humboldt does not take a knee on this play. Fredonia going to go into a prevent defense as they've sent number 10, Damon Gile. He is literally back to the Fredonia 20-yard line. That's as deep as you could play, and Humboldt going to take a knee. I am here to say I am shocked by that.
Yeah, I wasn't seeing that one.
But that's going to send us to halftime. Humboldt leading 36-12. Here after 24 minutes of play. We're going to go ahead and take a 2-minute timeout for now, and we'll talk a little bit when we come back. You're listening to Humboldt Cub Football on AM 1460, 99.9 FM, and KKOY.com.
The Monarch Sealing Company has been committed to quality and excellence for more than 100 years. The employees of Monarch have worked hard to produce the highest quality cement for its customers. We don't stop at just making the highest quality cement. The Monarch family of companies extends into the realm of ready-mix concrete products, and sundry building materials. Monarch employees share a commitment to quality essential to meeting the varied applications of their customers. The Monarch Sealing Company, dedicated to quality and craftsmanship for over a century.
Hi, this is Ryan Briscoe, State Farm Agent Schmidt. I believe it's important to protect yourself in the event of an emergency. Come see me today in downtown Schmidt at 05 East Main. Let me help protect your family with auto, home, life, or health insurance, as well as protect your family's financial future. Come say hi to our downtown offices in Schmidt or schedule an appointment by calling 620-431-2680.
Let's get back to the game on your home for the Humboldt Cubs, 1460 AM and 99.9 FM.
All right, back here in Fredonia, Kansas, where it has been an exciting first half of football, an exciting first quarter, especially as both teams getting on the scoreboard early, as it was 14-12, and then a dominating second quarter by the Humboldt Cubs. We've actually got a little bit of an extended halftime here in Fredonia, so we are going to send it back to music for about 10 to 12 minutes, and when we come back, we'll get a little pre-third quarter talk-up. But for now, we are going to send it to music, and we will see you in about 10 minutes. You're listening to Humboldt Cup Football on AM 1460, 99.9 FM, and KKOY.com.
Always enjoy taking a close look at the different kinds of wheelchairs other people use. Recliner chairs, senior size ones, pediatric chairs, you name it, it's out there. And although I have been a wheelchair user since being accidental for decades, it's starting burning old wheelchairs. It's a mess, but it wasn't over that way. There was a time when wheelchairs were big, funky, and violent. A wheelchair back then was viewed negatively, and I hated to be seen. Now, it's a different story. I see my wheelchair as liberating, being me to accomplish all sorts of tasks that I couldn't do without wheels. If you're a user or considering the purchase of a wheelchair, consider the options. Disability campaign affords resources to help you in research. Hi, this is Johnny Harrison, and I have a friend who's using a wheelchair at a nearby nursing home. Before her life-changing accident, my friend had a house full of stuff. But things have changed. Recently, when visiting my friend, I was struck by the small living house building at nursing home, with only a room for a bed and a chest of drawers. She may have hoped for a large, spacious living area, but since that wasn't possible, my friend subdued her heart's desires to match her situation. She set to work, and with photos of flower arrangement, a colorful afghan, and a plaque on the wall of her headboard, my friend had made that little space into a real home. She scaled down her heart's desires and fashioned a cozy bed of her place bed space. By equalizing her desires with her circumstances, my friend found contentment. A great thought from disabilitycampaign.org. That's how you can find contentment too. Hi, this is Tony Erickson Chata, and I've lived in Southern California for over 30 years. At that time, I've seen fires from that salt as they raged through the mountains above Malibu. After a recent fire, I received an email from a firefighter friend telling me about the 10 standard firefighting orders he learned in fire school. And order number 5 says, have an escape route. You know, that's a good idea for everyone, but it is especially good for those of us who are running or experiencing respectability of road rage pollutants and hazards. The Wave Indoor Air Quality Package will make your home a drier, cleaner, and healthier one all year round. It's time to choose the air you breathe. Wave Home Solution. Call 888-979-WAVE. That's 888-979-WAVE. Or visit dryhousenow.com. Dryhousenow.com. Wave Home Solution. Are your taxes keeping you up? Hi, Tax Out here from the Coast Box Taxes. It's worth $10,000 or more to the IRS. They do that taxes. Take 10 minutes to full Coast Box Tax Group. It's a 93% off. Coast Box Tax Group helps people all across America save big amounts of money. Just me from California saved $48,000 on back taxes. Check the decent for Dallas saved $106,000. Full Coast Box Tax Group now at 888-337-6940. A 10-minute call could save 93% or more. So who you guys to call? Coast Box Tax Group, that's who. See how much you can save. The consultation is always free. Also, Thank you.
You're on to the Humboldt Cubs, 1460 AM and 99.9 FM.
Back here in Fredonia, and we've got about a minute and a half on the clock. We'll see if they put any more time on to let the players get warmed up. However, they are out here stretching as we speak, so it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't, as they've had plenty of time to get loose. Again, it is 36-12. Humboldt leading over the Fredonia Yellow Jackets, and it's been a good first half if you're Humboldt. Fredonia, the first two drives of the game, Fredonia really right down the field with ease. Pretty good balance of the run and the pass. However, take away that last drive, Fredonia not able to score, however, getting the ball down to the Humboldt 10-yard line. But most of the second quarter, Fredonia unable to really get the ball moving at all. But a good overall first half for the Humboldt Cubs. And if you go back to last week, the most successful part of the game was actually coming out of the halftime break, as Humboldt scored 30 points in that third quarter last week over in Neodesha. Speaking of Neodesha, they had a 7-0 lead over Erie at halftime, and something we kind of talked about in that game was Neodesha looked much better compared to last year. I think Neodesha's got a couple wins in them this season. They got a chance to, I could see them really upsetting a team at some point during the season. But I guess we'll just have to see and let those games play out. I do apologize for the echo. I know there's a pretty good echo on the live stream. Not sure about on air. We're doing our best to get that fixed right now. I just got to kind of keep talking anyway. That way I can tell you if the echo's there or not. I guess I can play with some buttons on my side of it as well. Anyway, they have put 3 minutes back on the clock. So teams will continue to stretch, and I know nobody's going to complain about that, as Connor Havlin had some cramps there in the first half, had to come out momentarily. But Gavin Page did a great job filling in at the quarterback position while Havlin was out getting stretched out. Well, that tells you right there that this is a deep team, and personally, the play of Page, I wouldn't be shocked to see him get some significant playing time, and for the Humboldt offense to move Havlin around a little bit, as he is the quarterback of this team, but he is also arguably the best athlete on this team. So it makes you wonder if they may give Page some issues at the quarterback, or a potential chance at the quarterback position. The officials out there at midfield, and I think the players are getting burnt out on stretching, because Fredonia just came to their sideline. They were kind of done stretching. And if you are watching the live stream, you'll notice the glare just went away. We had the lights on in here at halftime. Put a little bit of a glare on our window. If you remember, Humboldt deferred the opening coin toss, so they will receive the second half kickoff. And I would not be surprised one bit if Fredonia attempted an onside kick, as Fredonia is to that point where they're in try-anything mode, because this is 2 touchdowns away. This one is 2 touchdowns away by Humboldt from being a running clock in the fourth quarter. And they're going to let this entire clock just run down to 0. Both teams been standing on their sidelines for over a minute now, but We're just going to let the clock run.
There they go. They just put the play clock back to
game clock. I'm gonna get you.
Yellow Jackets will kick to begin the second half. Buddy Claiborne on to do the honors. Back deep to receive.
So it's going to be number 32, Buddy Claiborne, kicking off for Fredonia. And Cooper J-Row going to be deep, but Humboldt smartly has 8 guys within the first 10 yards to potentially receive this kick. And here's the kick, and it's going to go out of bounds, and I'd like to say harmlessly, but that's going to be a penalty.
It goes out of bounds. Flags come out again.
And we're trying to address the slight echo, especially on the live stream. And it looks like Humboldt going to elect to re-kick. So they're going to move that 5 yards back. Officials still discussing. And this is going to be a very long third quarter if this is the way the first kickoff is going to take. I'm not really sure what's going on here. I think we have the echo fixed. I think we were working with Destiny back in the studio, and Cody used to be a board op, and she was sending us some pictures, and I think Cody figured out the problem, so thank you.
It's all right.
And good job, Destiny. She's working her butt off back there, trying to make us sound good.
We have a dead ball illegal procedure on the kick going out of bounds, and then a dead ball personal foul against Fredonia.
We've got multiple penalties on Fredonia. We have a kickoff out of bounds, and then there was an unsportsmanlike personal foul. So they're going to place the ball at the Fredonia 45-yard line with Humboldt taking over. I don't understand this at all. They've enforced both penalties where the ball would be spotted at the 40 for the kickoff out of bounds. And then they've enforced a 15-yard penalty on top of that. Now the officials are talking once again.
We were about to start up, and then they said, no.
We are 10 minutes of real time into the third quarter, and we are 0 seconds into the third quarter. And the white hat now going to signal to start the play clock. And the play clock has not started. And first play going to be up the middle to Coronado, and Coronado going to break it outside. He's to the 10, the 5, and that's going to be a quick touchdown for the Humboldt Cubs. And just like that, 9 seconds in of game time, or about 12 minutes of real time, that took forever to do. It's a 45-yard touchdown run for Isaiah Coronado, and it's 42-12 with 11:51 to go here in the third quarter. It took a while, but a 9-second drive. Humboldt going to set up for the 2-point conversion. Haviland gets the snap, the give to Coronado, and nope, give not to Coronado, ball on the ground, and
kind of thought that was a fumble for a minute.
Not sure what happened there. They fooled me, nonetheless. Unsuccessful attempt, so that'll leave the score 42-12. We're going to go ahead and take 30 seconds after all that mess. You're listening to Humboldt Cub football on AM 1460, 99.9 FM, and KKOY.com.
My grandpa started small, real small. Back then, we didn't have much to start with. It was a lamb and mule and a salmon season, but he made it work. And my family has been making it work for 2 generations since. And it all started from the seed. In farming, everything starts with a seed. At Community National Bank and Trust, we've got the seed money you need to get started. Take pride in your work, and we take pride in helping you do it. Farmers Community National Bank and Trust knows you at mybankcmb.com. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Let's get back in the game with your home to the Humboldt Cubs, 1460 AM and 99.9 FM.
Back here in Fredonia, and the conversation up in the booth is, when does the mercy rule kick in? I know it's 35 points. We're just not sure if it's the fourth quarter or it's any point in the second half. Nonetheless, we're still 5 points away from that conversation. We're also going to redo the conversion for Lord knows what reason. Nonetheless, Haviland taking the snap to give to Coronado, and he will not get in. And I'm wondering if that was because there was a fake handoff up the middle to Coronado as he was tackled. Whistles were blown, however, Coronado didn't have the ball, but the play was blown dead, and it appears the officials, to make it right, just said redo the play, which, weird situation. I guess okay by them to make it right in the long run. I'd be frustrated if I was Fredonia, because a blown whistle's a blown whistle. Nonetheless, the conversion no good. So it's going to be a 30-point lead for the Humboldt Cubs. Again, 11:51 to go in the third quarter. And Fredonia waiting to receive the kickoff.
42-12 Humboldt, still 11:51 on the game clock.
Alster to kick off, and it's going to hit the ground, and Humboldt down there. Whew! Majewski barely gets to that one, as looks like Jackson Akins was coming in hot trying to get on top of that loose football, but Majewski will field it but go down quickly, and Fredonia will take over at their own, looks like 29-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets, as Dutton will go under center. Backs in an I formation. Dutton going to throw to his right, and that's going to be incomplete over the head of Cooper Odell. And they're talking about a pizza delivery up here. I'll take some. Guess no pizza. No pizza for us.
I said we're the fan section.
All I heard
right?
was pizza delivery. I heard pizza delivery. I thought they were bringing pizza up into the box, and I was just going to sign off, but.
Oh, I might have to hop on that. No.
We're getting offered all kinds of food and drinks up here in the box, and we appreciate it. And Fredonia treating us well up here. Maybe I'll start being nicer talking about them on the radio. Sounds like a fair trade. Food for compliments.
Food, eh?
That give was to Claiborne. He picks up about 4, short 3, or long 3, short 4, we'll call it. Call it 3rd and 7. Dutton back under center. Rolling out to the right side. He's going to throw, and that will be a one-handed catch.
And a flag on the play.
Yeah. Taryn Ward bringing in the one-handed catch, and they're going to get Coronado with an unsportsmanlike conduct play, I'm sure, as he led with his helmet. Here's the official call, personal foul, contact to the head. And that one's going to go against Coronado, but Coronado playing hard here tonight, just trying to make a big hit, and you're okay with that. Joshua Hall, who's the defensive captain for Humboldt, trying to get an explanation, and I think he's just saying, man, we're playing hard-nosed football, let my guy play, but that was a good call. Coronado just came in a little hot and head down.
Getting 15 yards on that personal foul.
So Dutton going to go back under center, I formation, and that should have been a false start. And a big hit. Big block there in the backfield. That was 32, Buddy Claiborne, and he laid a big block on Gavin Page. And it ended up being about a loss of a half a yard. But they've got to keep an eye on Cooper Odell as he left way early on that play. No flag. Fredonia, nobody really agreeing what's going on here. Dutton will go under center. And the ball, ball was flying around there in the backfield as Claiborne didn't get the handoff cleanly. He was bobbling the ball as he was gaining yards. Ends up getting about 5 on the carry. That'll set up a 3rd and we'll call it 6. So Humboldt, let's see if they can't force Fredonia into a 4th down situation. 3 receivers to the far side. Look for a quick screen pass on this as Dutton is in the shotgun set. Claiborne behind him. And the give will be to Claiborne. And Claiborne going to pick up the 1st down as he is upended after a gain of about 7. And my Tony Romo instincts are not on point because I tried to call the screen pass and I wasn't even close. So Fredonia driving as they are now at the 33-yard line of Humboldt. Dutton going to go under center, I formation, twins to the far side. Give to the fullback, and that's Ward. And Ward will pick up about 5.5, we'll call it 6. Set up a long 3rd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
So Fredonia just going this 5 yards at a time. Again, trips to the far side as Dutton will go back into the shotgun set. He will give it to Claiborne. Claiborne to the right side. He's got room, and ooh, a good tackle by Isaiah Coronado. As if Coronado didn't wrap up his feet, that was probably another 15, 20 yards, if not a touchdown. But that will set up a third, and we'll call it a long one for Fredonia. Also a good crowd here tonight, both sides, Humboldt and Fredonia. Man in motion, and the give's going to be to Ward. Ward spins. Looks like he's picked up just enough for the first down. It'll be close. We'll see if they measure, but from here it looks like he did pick it up, and he did.
Connor Haviland with a great stop right there.
Yeah, that'll set up a 1st and 10 from about the 22-yard line of Humboldt. So again, Fredonia just making their way right into Humboldt territory, nearing the red zone now. I formation, going to throw, and that one's going to be short. Fall incomplete. And outside of the one deep pass that actually worked for Fredonia, most of Fredonia's passes haven't gone more than about 5 yards past the line of scrimmage.
They've been short, and
they throw the ball east and west quite a bit. Dutton under center, man in motion now. Flex bone set. Claiborne in motion. He gets the handoff, and a big hit. And we're going to see who that one was. Is that Haviland?
Yep.
Looked like Connor Haviland came flying in to make the tackle, and that will set up a 3rd and 8. And that'll put Fredonia in what appears to be a passing situation. Dutton going to be in the shotgun with 5 receivers. Dutton rolls to his left, throws out wide, and that will be looks like he might be just about a yard short. We'll call it a 7-yard gain. Well, that'll bring up 4th and a short 1. A good tackle by Gavin Page. So this will be a 4th and we'll call it less than 1. The tailback will be Taryn Ward, and I would expect to give right up the middle to him, and it will be. And he's going to get stuffed in a big stand by the Humboldt defense. No flags on the play, so Humboldt going to take over, and a long, lengthy, good drive by Fredonia will end with nothing as Humboldt's red zone defense comes through, and Humboldt going to take over, leading 42-12 here with 6:43 to go in the 3rd quarter.
6:43 to go, 3rd quarter.
And there goes Haviland. He's at the 50, the 40. It's a foot race. He's all by himself, and he's going to score. And that's an 83-yard touchdown run by Connor Haviland. No flags on the play. And the official, the white hat official, saying, let's run that clock.
Yep, more than 36 points. So.
And that will be, yep, a 36-point lead. So we'll have a running clock from here on out.
36-point lead will result in a running clock from this point on.
Humboldt going to set up for the 2-point conversion. Well, Haviland in the shotgun set. And he'll fake to Coronado, and pass completed to Kyle Cobald. And I'm not sure how that one got through, but nonetheless it did. And that'll make it 50-12 here with 5:38 and counting in the third quarter. We're going to take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Humboldt Cub football on AM 1460, 99.9 FM, and KKOI.com.
Football fans, mark your calendars for Thursday, December the 5th, when the National Junior College Football Championship returns to Kearney Smith Stadium. From last chance to the NFL, the road to Pittsburgh is the next step. You can get your ticket today at the state ticket office, and group rates are available for high school football teams. Call 620-335-4796. Again, that's 620-335-4796. It's the National Junior College Football Championship, December the 5th. Be a part of their story.
Let's get back to the game on your own from the Humboldt Cubs, 1460 AM and 99.9 FM.
Back here in Fredonia, Kansas, and we are now down to 4:40 and counting in the third quarter, as again, we will have a running clock. Back for the kickoff, Leon Ausder.
Humboldt had this exact running play clock last week when we were playing Neota Shea.
Yeah, but it was about 7 minutes of game time later. A good kickoff as that's fielded by Majewski, and he'll bring that back to about the 30-yard line. And yeah, remember it was 14-12 at the end of one. I think Fredonia just had used everything they had, and that's no disrespect to Fredonia. They look good, but that last drive was kind of a clear example. I think they got their rest at halftime and came out and put together a good drive, and then just couldn't quite punch it in. And they've got their guys going both ways. Well, Humboldt takes over, and Fredonia's just worn out, and it takes one play for Humboldt to score again.
Seeing like we were talking about earlier, Humboldt does do a lot of rotations coming in and out with their players too, keeping them hydrated and just ready to go.
Give to Claiborne that time, and he'll pick up about 6.
Gain of 6, bring up second down 4. Michael on the stop for the Cubs.
So 2nd and 4 as we're getting close to the 3-minute mark now of the third quarter. Fredonia going to be in the traditional I formation. Snap to Dutton. Give to the fullback, and that's Ward, and he is going nowhere, and they'll blow that one dead. Call forward progress stopped.
Final football on the initial hit. We'll bring up third down and about 5 after the loss of a yard.
So that'll set up a 3rd and 5 for Fredonia. Dutton going to go in the shotgun set. Claiborne to his right. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. You've got Odell and Majewski here to the near side. Got to expect that could be where a play goes. And
whistle.
Fredonia going to call a timeout.
3rd and 5 on the 34-yard line.
Yeah, we'll keep things here. I know we've taken quite a few breaks, but anxious to see what Fredonia does here. The clock does stop on a timeout, so no running clock throughout the timeout. But Humboldt, at this point, with the running clock, I think it's safe to say Humboldt going to come away with a victory. You don't want to, quote-unquote, rub it in. Still here in the third quarter, but that's why they do have the mercy rule in place. So a team doesn't continue to run it up. And I know, even though it is a 38-point game, you still want to work. You still want to work your guys. You don't want to have multiple games where you're having running clocks in the fourth quarter and then get to a potential playoff game and you're just not accustomed to playing 4 quarters of football. So you don't really want your guys to slow up. Plus, if you slow up, it's an easy way for guys to get injured. Nonetheless, it's going to be 3rd and 5 as Dutton in the shotgun set, 2 receivers to each side. It's going to be a throw to the right side, completed to Odell. He will be cut short after about a gain of 1. A good tackle there by number 18, Briar Orth. And Fredonia going to go for it here on 4th and 4.
Nothing to lose.
Going to be trips to the far side. Dutton in the shotgun set. And it's going to be a run up the middle. And Claiborne going to pick up the first down. He needed 4, and he got about 5. So that'll give Fredonia a fresh set of downs here with 1:25 and counting to go in the 3rd quarter. Fredonia going to get the play call in. They're going to go back to the flex bone set. Dutton under center. Man in motion, and ball's on the ground, and it will be picked up as it looks like that's number 20, Grayson Coulter. And Coulter fumbling the ball, but getting a friendly bounce as it went right back up into his lap. Coulter picking up about 4 on the carry.
Going to make it 2nd and 6 at the 36-yard line. 25 seconds running on the game clock.
Gives to Claiborne, and he is stuck by Gunnar Elder after a gain of about 3, so that'll set up a 3rd, and we'll call it 4. And I think our next play is going to be in the 4th quarter. We're going to go ahead and take a 1-minute timeout. You're listening to Humboldt Cub football on AM 1460, 99.9 FM, and KKOY.com.
Hi, this is Johnny Erickson Tata. I'm the center who uses a wheelchair and resides in a nearby nursing home. Before her life-changing accident, Linda had a house full of stuff. Well, things have changed. This is a visiting center. It's true. But it's more signs of her living health in that nursing home. It's in the rooms and bed and chest of drawers. She knew closely a large spacious living area, but since that wasn't possible, her things subdued her heart's desires to match her situation. She set to work, and with photos with flower arrangement, a colorful afghan that was sat on the wall of her bedroom, a friend has made that little space into a real home. She scaled down her heart's desires and fashioned a cozy nest out of a tight cramped space. By equalizing her desires with her circumstances, my friend found a quick just to check.
Let's get back to the game on your home from the Humboldt Cubs, 1460 AM and 99.9 FM.
Back here in Fredonia, Kansas. And it's going to be 3rd and 4, however, Humboldt lining up on the wrong side of the field. There we go. So Fredonia going to go to the I formation, Dutton under center. The give going to be to site number 24. That's a new one. Colton Dinkle. Dinkle had some action earlier in the game.
His way forward for about a yard. We'll bring up 4th down.
That'll set up a 4th and 4, and they've offered us popcorn up here in the box. We appreciate that, but nobody home wants to listen to me chew popcorn on the air. My wife doesn't like to listen to me chew popcorn at home. I can only imagine how bad it sounds over the air. I am not a quiet chewer. So 4th and 4, Dutton going to go to the air, and this one will be, oh, tough break, as that was Mayeski. Ball in his hands, and Cooper J-Row right there. Looked like J-Row got a hand in there, but Mayeski still a chance as the ball kind of popped up into the air, a chance to bring it in, but just kind of lost his concentration on the football. As a good job defending that one was J-Row. It'll be a turnover on downs, And Humboldt will take over at the Fredonia 47-yard line with 10:45 and counting to go here in the fourth quarter. Again, Humboldt leading 50-12 through three quarters.
At the 47-yard line.
And it looks like Gavin Page will be in there at quarterback. Page gets the high snap and gives it to his back, and I couldn't quite get a number. Looks like that's Cooper J-Row at the tailback position. J-Row running a lot at the receiver position, but going to get some work at the tailback spot. Page awaiting the call from the sideline, and this is a good time for Page to get some work in for sure. And the give to J-Row up the middle once again, and he'll pick up about a yard. They'll say no gain. I could see from up here that he had gotten positive yards and then pushed back, but they won't give him the forward progress. That'll set up a 3rd and long 10. So 3rd and 11. Page in the shotgun set. Looking to throw, and that one nearly intercepted by Fredonia, but that will bring up a 4th and 10.
Nice throw, though, man. That was a bullet.
It was a bullet, but somebody got a hand on it. Nearly intercepted, but Humboldt will punt. This first punt we've seen this season?
Yeah.
It is.
They didn't punt at all the last week game.
Can't tell if that's Alsder back there to punt. And nearly blocked, but a good punt, high spiraling kick. And that one will roll down to about the 15-yard line. Oh, a good job. Good job by Humboldt. Looked like that. I couldn't quite tell. It looked like Alsder. He handles the kicking duties. I'm just going to say that was him.
Game clock's at 7:40 and running.
So Fredonia going to see what they can do here, see if they can get some points on the board. Claiborne on the carry, picks up about 1. Down to the 7-minute mark now here in the ball game. Dutton still at quarterback.
He's up
Give to Ward. And Ward will pick up about 10, and he'll pick up a Fredonia first down. So a good job by Fredonia on that play. Fredonia keeping most of their starters out there. Dutton going to go back under center, looking to throw, and he's going to take a deep shot left side. Majewski there, and Majewski, he had J-Row burnt, but unable to bring the pass in. A good throw by Dutton, and pretty good coverage by J-Row. But Majewski guess he did have a step on him, just couldn't quite bring that one in. That'll set up a 2nd and 10 from the Fredonia 28-yard line. Ball's on the ground, and it looks like Fredonia fell on it, but that will set up a 3rd and 11. So presumably a passing situation here if you are Fredonia. So they're going to say it's 3rd and 10. Dutton going to be under center. Flex bone set. Give to Odell. And he's to the outside, and he will pick up about 5. So that'll set up a 4th and 5. A 4th and manageable, and to where I would assume Fredonia go for it.
Where it will be 4th down, still about 3 to go. Trey Summer on the stop.
So a 4th down. Dutton in the shotgun formation. Gives to the back. That's Claiborne, and he'll pick up about 12, which is easily enough for the 1st down. So Fredonia nearing midfield as we are now rolling past the 4-minute mark here of the 4th quarter. Give to the fullback. That's Ward. Ward cutting upfield, lowering his shoulder. He's just digging.
Oh, fumble.
And ball nearly coming out. I think he was already down. But I give Taryn Ward credit. That could have easily been a gain of 1 or 2, and he turned that into a gain of 9. A good job running by Taryn Ward, who again, just a freshman.
Second and 1, ball at the 45-yard line.
Ball pass completed to the near side. That's Mayeski, and that'll be for another 1st down. So Fredonia driving. Their biggest obstacle now could be the clock, as we are now at about the 2.5-minute mark. As Fredonia now at the Humboldt 34-yard line. Dutton going to go back to the shotgun set. 3 receivers to the far side. Give to the back, Claiborne. He skipped the middle, and he's all the way down to about the 15-yard line. They'll spot it actually at the 13. That's a generous spot. That'll set up a 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line, as we are now under the 2-minute mark. Dutton under center. Give to Claiborne, fighting his way up the middle, and he'll get down to about the 4-yard line. We'll set up a 2nd and long 1. This will set up a 2nd and 2, we'll call it. Dutton back under center with the traditional I formation. Give to the back Claiborne, and he will get about 1 yard.
There's a flag on the play.
A flag in the end zone. And
holding.
I understand you've got to make the call, but the back judge calling holding on the offensive line when they're driving down 38 points with under a minute on a running clock. That's a brutal call. I understand you have a job to do, but man, that's not even your call. And the give to Odell on the end around, and Fredonia going to have to hurry to get one more play in.
15 seconds left running down on the clock.
Fredonia hurrying to the line, down to 5 seconds. Odell will get the snap. He's looking to the end zone. He's got Majewski there, and it's, oh! Falls incomplete and a flag out. And I can't imagine what this is called. That was played great by the receiver and the defensive backs, double coverage. And the officials haven't called a legitimate penalty the entire second half and decided to get flag happy with a running clock with 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Okay. I guess that's the way we're going to play it. That's a horrible pass interference call. And that will give Fredonia one untimed down. Guys, kids must go to Fredonia, huh? Yeah. That's back-to-back. Maybe the makeup call. I'll give him that.
Were they putting it at the 2nd-yard line?
And they'll give them half the distance to the goals. So that'll set up a 3rd and we'll call it 1 from about the 4-yard line. Flexbone set, Dutton under center. And he's going to throw once again, and he's got his running back Ward there, and it's a touchdown. And that'll make this 50-18. And they're going to tell the teams, forget about it. We're going to give you the untimed down 38, but we're not going to let you attempt the conversion because that makes sense. Nonetheless, it's going to be a 32-point Humboldt Cub victory. Final score, Humboldt 50, Fredonia 18. And we're going to go ahead and take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll do a little recap of tonight's game and what we can look forward to next week. You're listening to Humboldt Cub football on AM 1460, 99.9 FM, and KKOY.com.
The 2019 Kansas State Fair is underway and runs through September the 15th. Hi, I'm Carla Nemechek, Director in the Southwind Extension District. Whether you attend the State Fair annually or have never gone before, there is always something new to see. The butter sculpture represents the Wizard of Oz this year, and I hear the fried food is fantastic. K-State Research and Extension is proud of our 4-H exhibitors who have already earned awards and look forward to daily results. Daily results can be found on our Southwind website, southwind.ksu.edu. The Kansas State Fair and 4-H exhibits are only a small part of the total 4-H program in the Southwind Extension District. Are you interested in learning more about 4-H and what it can do for your family? If so, contact K-State Research and Extension in Erie, Iola, Fort Goddard Yates Center, and we'd love to visit with you about 4-H.
1460 AM and 99.9 FM.
Back here in Fredonia, Kansas, and quite the scene out here at midfield right now. Teams, of course, shaking hands on the 50-yard line, as you see across all of the high schools in the state of Kansas, and most everywhere, but I mean it's a requirement by Keisha. But after that, both teams meeting in a huddle at the 50-yard line with both teams and both cheer squads out there as well. Everybody taking a knee and a co-team prayer, and I don't care really what your beliefs are or whatever. I think that was pretty cool, seeing the teams come together, praying together, as we've had a good night of football, a good, clean, competitive night, coming away with there was no big injuries here tonight, and that's the biggest thing, is you want to see good competition, good clean play, and injury-free. That's the biggest takeaway from tonight. Sorry, I'm updating a few things. But tonight, big win for the Humboldt Cubs. Again, the final score 50-18. Offense averaging 53 a game and giving up 16 a game. That's a pretty good average if you're Humboldt. I know last year didn't give up double digits until the final regular season game of the year, now doing it in back-to-back games. So I'm sure there's some people that concerns, but overall, you've got to be happy coming away with a record of 2-0 after 2 weeks. And the story of tonight's game for Humboldt was the ground game, as once again Connor Haviland leading the way. I'm trying to think, 3 big rushing touchdowns, 55, 62, and 82 yards respectively. Also, Isaiah Coronado, a big game on the ground, and those guys wouldn't be able to do that without their offensive lines in front of them.
And Gavin Page actually got some time in too. So.
Yeah, Gavin Page did a good job there. I believe it was the second quarter. Connor Haviland looked like he was cramping up a little bit, and Page coming in, stepping up, playing well when he needed to. And then there in the fourth quarter, as we had the running clock, Page came in and finished the job, and a very good job. It makes you wonder if that's something they look at here as the season continues. Maybe they run Page at quarterback a little more so they can move Haviland around. I don't know. That they could not. I like to think that
he done pretty good.
I mean, Connor Haviland was all-state running back last year. I understand he's out there kind of to be the game manager, I guess, if you want to call it. But this second week in a row, he led the team in carries. Yeah. I mean, he's the quarterback, but he's the leading rusher for this team, and you could call him the Lamar Jackson of this team. I can't say that too much because Baltimore comes to Kansas City next weekend, so I've got to go into like hate mode for Lamar Jackson. But speaking of NFL, big Sunday this week as the Chiefs go over to Oakland into the Coliseum for the last time. And unless somehow Oakland were to win the division, which I'll just stop talking about that because that's not realistic.
Don't want to get in that.
Yeah. No disrespect to you Fader fans, but you're not winning the division this year. But that's a 3 p.m. kickoff. But here tonight, a big win again for Humboldt. I know next week we travel to Iola. I guess I probably should have talked about that more throughout the game. Next week we take on Eureka. However, the game is in Iola. It'll be a road game for Humboldt. I think that's what it says on the schedule anyway. But the game will be in Iola. The reasons behind that is, of course, last summer Eureka had that devastating tornado that came through and just wiped out a lot of the town, unfortunately, and the football stadium as well. I know I saw on Twitter their field looks great. They were putting up the press box like Wednesday. And their stands are pretty much up. They were putting in their press box. Unfortunately, they probably won't play games there until next season.
Yep.
But the field was looking better and better. The stadium itself was looking better and better. But it's just unfortunate that the reason they're having to redo their stadium. You never want to see storms. I know, not even comparable, but last night, you and I both live in Chanute, and that storm came out of nowhere. I mean, it was probably like a 40-mile-an-hour wind, but
yeah, it was crazy.
It came out of nowhere. It was like, oh, hey, I think it's sprinkling, and all of a sudden my windows were shaking. It came in pretty quick, but we're actually going to go ahead. We're going to take 1 minute right now.
Hopefully we can get Coach up here.
See if we can get Coach up here. Coach emailed me, and he promised me he was going to come talk to me.
No, he promised.
He promised. I asked him if he would digitally pinky promise me, and he told me to stop being dumb. No, he didn't do that. But
yeah.
He probably would have. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and take a quick 1 minute timeout. When we come back, again, we'll talk a little bit more about next week and hopefully talk to head coach Logan Wyrick. But right now you're listening to our Humboldt Cub postgame on AM 1460, 99.9 FM, and KKOY.com.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAD is there. Our future is finding a support to give back on the DAD helps veterans of every generation get the benefits they earned. I'm a veteran. I get out. So veterans, which we do, support the first for veterans. Go to DA.org. Let's get back to the game on your home for the Humboldt Cubs, 1460 AM and 99.9 FM.
Back here in Fredonia, continuing our post-game show. And again, big win tonight for the Humboldt Cubs as they come away with a 50-18 victory over the Fredonia Yellow Jackets. Big win tonight. Kind of doing what they needed to do. They ran the ball. I know we talked about in pregame how we'd like to see Humboldt establish a little bit of a passing game, but when you have, rushing touchdowns of 80 yards, 60 yards, 55 yards, why throw the ball? I'm not a head football coach, but I've played Madden enough to know that if I'm playing, Madden 12 with the Chiefs and Jamal Charles is cranking out 80-yard touchdowns, that I'm not going to throw the ball with Matt Castle, mainly because Matt Castle was horrible. And believe it or not, head coach Logan Wyrick, he's making his way up here. We're going to do our first post-game interview, and I'll say it before he gets up here. I'm going to apologize ahead of time because I was always the guy that had to hand off the headset. I never got to initiate one of these post-game press conferences. So some of these questions might just be downright terrible. But Coach is a great guy, and I know he'll work with me. And he doesn't have to come up here and do these post-game talks with me, but he's choosing to do that on his own time. I know he'd probably like to get on the bus and get home, but nonetheless, he's going to come up and share a few words with us. Coach making his way in the booth right now. And I am Coach flipping his hat back around. Got to look good while he's on the radio. And I'm pleased to be joined.
I'm a radio guy.
I'm pleased to be joined by head coach Logan Wyrick. And Coach, big win tonight. First off, we kind of talked about in pregame up here. I'd like to see the guys, establish a little bit of a passing game. and then the run game was just going so well.
Yeah.
We kind of talked about why throw the ball.
Yeah, I mean, sooner or later we got to get something figured out, and it's baby steps. I mean, we've got a young man that's never, besides a baseball, he's throwing a lot of baseballs this time, but you know that's just going to take some time, and we're going to keep working on it. And when we can run it like that, and we got a couple kids, you know, he's not the only one. Obviously, we saw that tonight, and so we're going to do some things. It's good to work on some of the things, some of our fundamentals there too.
Yeah, we talked kind of a hypothetical. You know, it looked like Connor had some cramps maybe, and saw him stretching on the sideline, and Gavin Page came in, and Gavin looked well. He had to throw a couple passes, and we thought, you know, seeing this tonight, that might give Gavin Page an opportunity later in the season to get in there, and not only that, maybe move Connor Haviland around, because I mean, he's arguably the best athlete, pure athlete on this team, all-state running back last year. You know, just is that I don't want you to give away your schemes, obviously,
no.
But I'm sure you saw it on the sideline as well as I saw it up here. It was we've got another guy that can potentially throw the ball out here.
Oh yeah, we know that. I mean, Gavin's going to be a special one. I mean, he really is. We're just a sophomore. We can need him to grow a little bit. He's worked so hard, even when he's in middle school, working hard in the weight room. You know, he's put the time in, and he's just growing. He's maturing, and he's getting there. And I would have no qualms if we needed to take the field with him at quarterback. I wouldn't. I mean, yeah, you got a special player, and it hurts when he's on the sidelines, but we were good. We knew we got some athletes around him, and he'll get more time as the year goes. I mean, and the plan is to find some spots for him where he's just going to go in. It's not going to take a cramp from Haviland to get him in. You know, just let him get in there and get some throws, get some runs, and he moves extremely well. I mean, he had a great game Monday night in the JV game, and does some special things back there.
I want to talk about your defense a little bit, and the fact that this is 2 games in a row that when last week Neodesha, this week Fredonia, when the teams are fresh coming out, they've seemed to move the ball a little bit against your defense, and it seems like you're subbing guys in and out, keeping some fresher legs, and that's kind of second quarter, third quarter. We saw that tonight. Fredonia just ran out of gas. Last week, third quarter, Neodesha ran out of gas. Is that something that concerns you a little bit? I know you've got a few injuries still, and you've got to get some guys back, but maybe not as quite a stout of defensive line as you had last year. Are you trying to kind of get your athletes up there more to stuff that box? Because we've seen some big runs.
I think the biggest thing right now is if we lost something, it was in the middle there. You know, from last year. You know, you lose 2 All-State players at your defensive line and an All-State, a 3-time All-State middle linebacker. It's going to take some. You know, we're playing some different defenses too. Just trying to find a look that, and we're still not near satisfied. We're going to go back to the drawing board. You know, we've got honestly 3-4 different defenses that we're just trying to find one that meshes. And honestly, you know, we ran one defense, switched to one last week, and then we run that defense, and we switch back to the other one this week. And you know, it might be, you know, we take away what they do, and we go from there. So we're going to keep kind of
the biggest positive I've taken away from that is this is 2 weeks in a row now where at some point in the second quarter it's been a 2-point game, and then your team has rattled off 30-some points in a row. They're adjusting well, and that's what you want to see.
Yeah, I think that, we preached it again. We preached it this week. We'll have to preach it again. You know, we can't start. You know, you get another team in here that wants to come out and battle. You know, both teams the last 2 weeks have came in ready to go, and like you said, I think maybe we kind of warmed down a little bit, and we can't rely on that though. You know, I think if we come out ready to roll right off the bat, you're going to see a different team right off the bat. But you know, it's good. Yeah, I think last year we didn't get a ton of adversity real quick, and it's good to see that kind of getting punched in the mouth and see how they react a little bit.
Definitely.
So that's been good.
So next week, big matchup with Eureka. That's on a neutral field up in Iola. Eureka, big win week 1. I know they were down, I think, 3 possessions at one point to Caney. Caney's a very good team. However, they've got essentially a 3A small powerhouse going. They're good every year. What are you looking forward to next week with Eureka? I know you probably haven't watched much film on them yet, but they're a improved team.
Oh, much improved. I mean, even last year they had athletes everywhere. It's just they were young. This year they're a year older, getting some more experience. I know they're, you know, with Coach Nichols, he's going to have them improved up front. That was a big thing. We kind of took advantage of last year. We were so good up front, so we got to come in and respond early with them. They're gonna throw it around, and we know they're gonna wing it around. And we've given up a couple shots here in the first couple
Some
weeks. And
bad luck tonight.
Yeah.
There was a couple that
Yeah.
it looked like, oh, great play on defense, and somehow he caught the ball.
yeah, and we got to keep preaching. Were we in good coverage last week on a couple? Yeah, were we in good coverage spots to be in tonight? Yeah, but
The big one before the half, that was
down.
one of the luckiest catches I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Cooper made a great play, and it just fell into his hands. But, so next week, neutral site game against Eureka. We talked about how it's unfortunate why that's a neutral site game, but nonetheless, it's cool that Eureka doesn't have to play 8 or 9 road games, so at least they get –
that'd be good for them.
Yeah, good for them. But I appreciate your time. Thanks for coming up. Hopefully we can talk again next week.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for having me, and hopefully we can have fun winning the game next week, too.
Congrats on the win.
Thanks, guys.
Right, thanks, Coach. That was head coach Logan Wyrick. Big win tonight here over Fredonia. Again, 2-0 on the season. But for now, we are going to wrap things up. Just want to thank all of our sponsors. Thank Cody here tonight. He's been great helping me out doing the camera, doing the color. Also, Destiny back in the studio. She did a great job keeping us on, switching back to music at halftime a little bit. But she's been great making us sound good. I know that's not always the easiest thing to do. If she could just make me look good, well, she makes me look good, as we're a married couple, but if she could just make me look good on my own. But nonetheless, it's been a great night of football. We'll see you again next Friday night, as we will be in Iola as Humboldt takes on Eureka. You've been listening to Humboldt Cub Football on AM 1460, 99.9 FM, and KKOY.com.